II became a unique and monumental event in American history. These events plunged countless young men and women into roles and responsibilities that far exceeded any expectations at the time. An untold number of experiences and sacrifices unfolded during this war, and the generation of the 1930s and 40s met the call of war with bravery unmatched by any generation. Stories of these heroes have echoed continuously throughout the years. One such hero is Staff Sergeant Malen Powell, who served in the 792nd Bomb Squadron, 468th Bomb Group. His sacrifice and dedication as an airman earned him the deserved title of American Hero by entering the call of duty and performing to his full potential. Malen was born on December 15, 1921, to Oath and Verna Powell in Lodgepole, Nebraska. He spent his childhood years living in the family's cook shack, drawn by horse, traveling from town to town. In the 1930s, his family settled in Plattsmouth, Nebraska, where they rented a farmhouse. Malen and his siblings worked hard to help provide for the family. This included growing and selling tomatoes in the local town, cutting blocks of ice from the Missouri River to sell in the dead of winter, and tending to horses. Since the family could not afford even a shirt for him, Malen wore a worn-out vest instead to school. His school lunch consisted of cornmeal mush, unlike sandwiches his classmates ate. But his mother was famous for making the best white country gravy, which he always looked forward to. When he was in high school, Malen played football for the Plattsmouth Platters, later renamed the Blue Devils. In 1940, Malen and his team went undefeated and set many school records, some of which still stand today. Malen was nominated and played on the All-State team that year. Unfortunately, Malen was not able to attend his high school graduation as his father forced the family to move to Colorado the day before graduation. Malen had received scholarship offers from 4 prestigious colleges but declined every offer because he knew his family would suffer if he had left to attend college. This sacrifice showed how Malen understood his responsibilities and duties as he prioritized his family's needs over potential success in college. While living in Colorado, Malen worked hard for himself and his family, becoming a highly respected member of the local community. It was here that he became a devout Christian, remaining one for the rest of his life. The unprovoked attack on Pearl Harbor encouraged many, like Malen, to join the military soon afterwards. During his military service, Malen upheld his responsibility in supporting his family by sending a major portion of his pay home to his mother. Malen attended technical school and graduated as an aircraft engine mechanic. However, with the newly created B-29 bomber program and the military's intention to retaliate against Japan as soon as possible, Malen was selected to become a gunner on board the B-29. This program, and the B-29, was so new that the crews trained on other aircraft, including the B-17, because the B-29 was still in production. Because time was also of the essence, they trained in the older aircrafts so that the combat missions could begin the moment new B-29s arrived. Sergeant Powell's crew completed their training in the United States, and on New Year's Day 1943, they flew a new B-29 from Clearwater, Florida, to the A-7 base in China. Once they arrived, the B-29 was assigned to a crew already stationed there, and Malen's crew was assigned to an older B-29 to begin bombing and supply missions. One important mission that Malen's crew participated in was the Manchurian Raid on December 7, 1944. The goal of the mission was to bomb a plant located in northern China. Unfortunately, the bombs were dropped onto rice paddies, missing the plant. This was certainly no failure by any means, as one thing was made clear in this mission: there was no place in Japan that was safe from the B-29, as it could fly up to 16 straight hours. The planes flew over a prisoner of war camp, surprising the Japanese. The American soldiers were inspired by the B-29 flying valiantly overhead, a sign that their brothers were there and fighting for their country. Other pivotal missions that Malen's crew participated in were bombing raids over Tokyo. Malen's plane, the Limberdugan II, was selected as the Pathfinder plane for one of these missions. Their plane, equipped with a unique radar, allowed them to accurately mark the primary targets for the B-29s that were following 30 minutes behind them. What made this role especially dangerous was that America warned Japan ahead of time of the coming raid so that they could evacuate their civilians. This meant that not only did the Japanese know that the planes were coming, but for a significant amount of time, the Limberdugan II was the sole target, highlighted by group spotlights and engaged by enemy planes. The Limberdugan II was successful in its mission and marked the targets before their plane regrouped with over 800 B-29s. Following the success of the mission, it was identified that Malen was responsible for his crew's safe return home. During the bombing raid, a B-29 flying directly overhead would have dropped their payload on the Limberdugan II had it not been for Malen's quick thinking to alert the pilot to evade the falling bombs. He also held off numerous fighters as they made their initial run to mark their targets. His actions saved the plane, and he was awarded the Distinguished Flying Cross for his actions. The 468th Bomb Group was given the title of the Billy Mitchell Group in 1944 for having the best bombing record, for which they were authorized the name change and flew under his personal sailing flag during the remaining war. This mission exemplified their status as the best bomb group yet again. Staff Sergeant Malen Powell was honorably discharged on October 10, 1945, having earned the Distinguished Flying Cross, the Air Medal, Conduct Medal, Asiatic Pacific Medal, World War II Victory Medal, China War Memorial Medal, Small Arms Qualification Badge, and the Ruptured Duck Patch. After his discharge, Malen married twice, having 2 sons and a daughter. He studied to get his private pilot's license and received his certification for the local ministry, allowing him to minister at truck stops for 10 years. Malen always favored attending the 468th Bomb Group reunions, which eventually grew to include the entire 58th Bomb Wing. In his elder years, Malen was a strong and determined man, choosing to retire at the age of 90. A man who was fiercely dedicated to his family, community, and country, Malen passed away from respiratory complications on December 19, 2021. This American hero, who stepped up in time of war for the protection of America and her allies, was buried with military honors. Malen was a real-life hero whose stories inspire future generations to become great leaders and defenders of our great country.
Sentimental journey, gonna put my heart at ease, gonna take a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bag, I've got my reservation, spent each dime I could afford, like a child in wild anticipation, long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we meet at 7. I'll be waiting up for heaven, counting every mile the railroad track takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so young. sentimental journey, sentimental journey home, sentimental journey home.